In a valley hidden among mountains that never appeared on any map, night descended with ancient patience. It did not arrive all at once. First, it dimmed the colors. Then it softened the sounds. Finally, it erased the weakest memories. That was why the people who lived there said darkness was not the absence of light, but the absence of memory. In that valley, there was a path that did not always exist. It appeared only when someone was about to forget something essential. No one knew who had created it or where it truly led. Some said it ended deep within the forest. Others believed it had no end at all, only choices. At the beginning of the path hung an old lantern held by an iron arch covered in moss. Its glass was cracked, but never broken. It did not light the ground or chase away shadows. Its light turned inward, as if searching for names, faces, and promises spoken in low voices. The elders said the lantern remembered what people could not. Lena arrived in the valley on a moonless night. She was not from that place. She had traveled guided by a feeling she could not explain, like a word resting on the tip of the tongue, aching because it could not be spoken. She knew she had lost something, but she did not know what. There was only an emptiness inside her, one that food, rest, and company could not fill. She stopped in front of the lantern. The air smelled of damp earth and frozen time. She remembered what they had told her in the nearest village. If you want the lantern to listen, do not lie to it. Lena opened her mouth to say her name, but no sound came out. Instead, she hummed a broken melody, incomplete and uncertain, like a thread that had snapped. She did not know where it came from, only that it hurt not to remember it fully. The lantern trembled. Its light shifted, growing warmer, closer. Then the path appeared. It was not an ordinary path. With every step Lena took, the world seemed to listen. Leaves moved without wind, stones whispered words she almost understood. With each stretch of the path, a memory returned. Warm hands brushing her hair, a gentle laugh, a voice singing the melody she had barely recognized. But the path demanded something in return. At the first bend, Lena forgot the name of her school. At the second, the face of a kind neighbor blurred and faded. It was not painful, but it was final. Then she understood the rule of the path. Nothing is recovered without leaving something behind. She continued carefully. She began to choose. She let go of small memories to protect deeper ones. Not everything deserved to stay. Not everything needed to. Further ahead, the path grew narrow, not because the forest pressed inward, but because Lena no longer fit within it in the same way. Branches leaned closer, stones shifted toward each other. The lantern's light began to pulse, not like a flame, but like a tired heart. The air grew heavy. Every memory she regained now carried double the weight. She remembered her mother's name with absolute clarity, not only the letters, but the way it sounded when spoken with love or urgency. The song returned whole, wrapping around her like an old, familiar coat. In exchange, something deeper slipped away without asking permission. The fear of being alone, the fear of making mistakes, the fear of not being enough. Then the path stopped. Before Lena, there was no wall, but a reflection. She saw herself, younger, with memories intact and hands unmarked by difficult choices. That other Lena held the lantern, now glowing with a steady, calm light. "The path ends here," she said, "for you." Lena understood at last. The lantern was not an object, The path was not a test. They were a cycle. For someone to remember, someone had to stay. For the lantern to keep shining, someone had to learn how to carry it. Without words, Lena offered the last memory she possessed, her own name. She felt it leave her gently, like a leaf falling into water. There was no pain, only certainty. The reflection smiled and dissolved into the light. When morning came, the valley looked the same. No one remembered seeing that woman arrive. Only they knew that from that day on, the lantern at the beginning of the path seemed more attentive than before. And when someone was about to forget something essential, a nameless voice hummed an ancient song, guiding them toward the light. Because the lantern did not keep memories, it kept decisions.